Thank you, Michael. Hi, guys. My question's for Ricardo. Just, how do you think your season with PSV has gone so far? I mean, obviously, you're in a tough competitive spot trying to break into the lineup, but how are things going? And how do you think your game has progressed in the last 12 months or so?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm in a difficult situation, of course, where I'm starting to, you know, some games I start, other games I don't, but I have limited opportunities. But at this point, I'm just trying to make the most out of my opportunities, whether it's playing 30 minutes, playing 10 minutes, or starting off the bench. And in terms of my game, the last few months, I think it's grown a lot in between midfield, holding the ball in between lines, getting a little stronger, hold the play a little bit, and of course, been working on my strength, which is the finishing. So yeah, I think overall, I've become a better player.
Next will be Stephen Goff from the Washington Post.
Ricardo, wanted to ask you what your early impressions are of your new coach and what you've learned about him.
Yeah, of course, man. I feel like it's been amazing, to be honest. Just being able to share some moments and share some words with Mauricio. I think it's been great, to be honest, to be able, to even meet him on the pitch. I think his intensity and the way he takes serious things on the pitch is, I think it's helped us a lot. And just like I said, I think he's a great guy, and off the pitch, he's an even better guy. So I think it's been great, and I think he's helped us a lot. Trainings have been very intense, and I feel like we needed that as a group.
Next will be Charlie Bone from MLSsoccer.com.
Yes, thanks for speaking today. Following on what you just said, Ricardo, I wanted to ask both of you how it feels. Like, what's different about new leadership, and what's maybe the same? Because I know you guys have the brotherhood, and maybe some things don't change with the new coach, but I'm sure there's a lot of things feel different, and I wonder just what that's been like for you these last few days.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's been great, to be honest. In terms of how the group feels, I feel like it pretty much is it's the same thing. Of course, we all have our brotherhood here, and nothing changes in terms of that. But I feel like when it comes to being on the pitch, everything feels a little bit more intense in terms of trainings. The exercises all have a purpose in terms of whether it's a warm up, whether it's like a pre-activation. Everything is a purpose to transfer it to the pitch. And so yeah, like I said, it's great, to be honest. It's been great to be able to get the training and be as intense as it is.
Next will be Brian Sciaretta from American Soccer Now.
Thank you, Michael. Malik, more or less the same question for you. What's it been like this week for you, and what roles have you been fitting in with this team, and maybe breaking into this group in ways that maybe you haven't in the years past? Have you been doing anything differently, and what position have you been playing? Because I know you play sometimes on the wing and sometimes centrally.
Yeah, of course. It's something that no matter what my position is, I'm gonna be able to be ready for that position. Whether it's on the wing, I've had some repetitions here on the week, but I've also had some repetitions as a striker. And so yeah, like I say, in terms of the group, nothing has really changed. But on the pitch, we have a different style that we want to play. He's talked about the most important thing is to win. If we have a situation where we want to bail out the bag, but then we get conceded, then we have to throw that away and just focus on winning, because at the end of the day, all you want to do is win games, no matter how you win them.
I should have mentioned at the outset, if you have questions in German, Malik is able to answer that as well. We'll continue with Steph Vertelny.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, this one's for Malik in English. I wanted to ask about where you were at over the summer with your club situation. Your loan with PSV ended. You were going to go back to Bayern, and of course, you ultimately decided to go back to PSV on a permanent basis. And so I'm kind of wondering what your thought process was in that situation. What kind of options you had. Was returning to Bayern a possibility? Was going to a different club a possibility? And why you ultimately decided to go to PSV on a permanent basis?
Yeah, so basically the whole thing was up to Bayern. Yeah, they basically didn't want me anymore. And yeah, PSV had the right to buy me. They were the first option. And so I didn't really have a chance to say anything. So, but yeah, I'm still happy at PSV. and I also wanted to stay at PSV, so it's a good thing.
We'll go to Ryan Talmadge from Goal.com.
Thank you, Michael. This one's for Ricardo. Obviously, a big change with Mauricio and his staff coming in is that the staff is loaded up with native Spanish speakers now, and that's a very big difference and a very big change, and something that isn't always been too common in many players' careers, I would say. So for you, like, one, how has that been? Have you been working with the staff in Spanish, and are there any times where you have to translate or step in and kind of bridge that gap at all?
No, I mean, like, I feel like they speak pretty good English, to be honest. But in terms of when I communicate with them, most of the time it's in Spanish, and so, there's other Spanish-speaking people in the group, so it's been great, to be honest. I think there's some things in Spanish that I can't really, translate the same in English, and so it's better to just have that connection in Spanish and be able to understand fully in terms of, like, whether it's a joke, whether it's, something on the pitch that they try to explain to me. So, I feel like the communication and, the bond is a little better for sure.
Next will be Donald Wine.
Thank you, Michael, and hey, gentlemen, good to see you. Looking ahead to the opponent on Saturday, Panama, the last couple times you guys have played them, you guys haven't done well against them, and also those games have been, for lack of a better word, very chippy. How do you guys approach it as players, and especially given what happened in Copa America and Gold Cup last year? How do you approach Panama specifically and have a better result this time?
Yeah, I think just looking back at the last game that we played Panama, it was something that hurt. It was an L that really hurt us. And in terms of how we prepared, looking forward to this game, it's something that we want to go out there and win. The last couple of times, like you said, it's been chippy. It hasn't been good. So we want to make sure that this time, we give them no chance, and we go out there and get a win.
We'll take two more questions and continue with Alex Castillo.
Hola, buenas tardes, Ricardo. ¿Cómo toman el partido contra Panamá, teniendo en cuenta el resultado en Atlanta, viendo que Estados Unidos estuvo ahí, las tarjetas rojas? Fue un partido muy emocionante de principio a fin. ¿Lo toman como una revancha o lo toman como un nuevo comienzo, con una nueva edad futbolística en este partido amistoso?
No, la verdad es que no lo tomamos como revancha. Creo que es un partido importante para nosotros, con el tema de un entrenador nuevo. La verdad es que vamos al partido con la intención de ganar. No lo estamos viendo como revancha porque sabemos que somos un equipo y bueno, las cosas pasan, ¿no? Pero obviamente la vez pasada que perdimos fue una derrota que dolió, pero a la misma vez tenemos que salir este fin de semana y bueno, sacar la victoria y disfrutar el fútbol.
Last question comes from Andrew Jones.
Thanks, Michael. As always, first, Malik, you and Ricardo had to deal with playing both Tim Weah and Weston in that Champions League game. Just your whole thoughts of that, and if Weston's been very vocal throughout the whole about that. And for you, RP, wanted to ask you about Richie Ledesma, with how he's been balling over there for you guys. Just your thoughts about that. And you want to also talk about Weston being vocal too this whole week.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Richie had a tough last season. Didn't play, but yeah, he came back this season for the preseason, done well, and was playing out of position, but did a great job. So yeah, I think he's back enjoying his football, and yeah, enjoying his life in general.
Yeah, in terms of Weston, man, to be honest, I think we've already heard it a couple of times this camp. Whether it's just him coming up to us and either telling us just 3-1 or something like that. It's something that I know we're never gonna get away from it until next time comes around and then we actually beat them. So, yeah, it's Weston, man. He's always gonna come up. Whether it's the camera guy, he's always asking take a picture of us and stuff like that. He's just always messing around, but it's all good fun.